Hi, I have a little secret to share with you. I've owned a doTERRA business now for going on 7 years, and I've pretty much seen it all. I've been through many stages of growth myself. Let's go through them quickly. In the beginning, that startup phase, which some of you might be in, you say yes to every opportunity. You try many different things. You try on many different hats. You make a lot of mistakes. Got to persevere because stage 2 is coming, which is your ramp up phase. If you stick it out through stage 1, you come into big growth, sometimes fast growth. You, again, make a ton of mistakes. You learn a lot about yourself through this phase. And then you come into the steady Eddie phase, where you are looking at optimizing your way of doing things. You're optimizing systems, your approaches, because your key word here is sustainability. Can what I'm doing through this phase be something I can continue to do for years and years and years and not burn out? From that phase, you come into the innovative phase. I would say that is the phase that I'm in now in my business. I have a large business with doTERRA. I have other things I do within my brand that all come under this umbrella that I have to choose what I'm going to show up in and breathe life in and flow in throughout the year. And in this phase, creativity is king. You've got your systems locked and loaded. You've been through all of the stages of growth, and and now you're at this point where it's about taking everything next level. And so that innovation is looking at what's working, what's not working, what is working that I want to pour life into and take it to that next level. But there's one consistent essential through each stage of business, and it is trust. It's trusting in yourself. It's trusting in your vision, super important. It's trusting in your ideas. It's knowing when to walk away from an idea and when to put the pedal down. Owning a doTERRA business means you are in the driver's seat. And maybe you don't own a doTERRA business. Maybe you own a different business. But you've put yourself in this driver's seat so that you can be driving more of your life by design. That's the goal. And with that comes the need to have the courage to walk that out, the courage to not only live by design, but to truly honor that when other people might suggest that the way you're doing things is not the right way. There's a phase that I didn't mention as I was just going through those phases. And it's what I would refer to as the apathy phase. It's that phase that comes right before quitting. And here's what's going to lead to that phase. And maybe you're finding yourself in a bit of this phase. I find in business it hits sometime after that 2-year mark when that romance fades away a little bit and you're required to go deeper within yourself to go to that next level. Here's what leads to the apathy phase, which is that phase before you will inevitably quit. It's caring about what everyone else is doing to grow their business. It's comparing yourself instead of really checking in and getting to know yourself in this phase, in this time that feels like you're being stretched and things that you used to do maybe aren't working anymore. It's worrying about what others think of you. I would take that one step further. If you have a team, it's worrying about what others think of you more than your commitment to lead and to lead from your authentic place, from your gifts. It's forgetting why you started. That will always lead you into apathy and eventually quitting. And mostly it's burning out, trying to please everybody. I have been there. I've been an entrepreneur for over 10 years, and I have gone through every one of these phases and stages. And what I want to share with you as my best secret is learning to trust yourself and your vision for your business, because that is the North Star. That is the fuel. That is the backbone of everything beautiful you can imagine for your life. And so if you want my best tip, it's really simply, and as soon as possible, beginning the work of understanding what makes you uniquely you. Because guess what? There has never been another you doing the work that you're doing. Never, ever, ever in all of time has there been somebody who brings the experiences, the lessons, the gifts, the strengths, the weaknesses even, everything that makes you you. There's never been somebody doing this work the way you're here to do it. And so what I feel is the simplest way to do this and to really get to know yourself and what makes you uniquely you is to understand that you have strengths and you have weaknesses, and they all come together to create this beautiful mess at times, but this beautiful business, this beautiful sustainable business, something that's going to allow you to truly create the life that you want to live. So one of my favorite tools to do this is the Strengths Finder assessment, because through that you can learn what your top strengths are, what your weaknesses, or what I would even prefer to call opportunities, but we all have them. And so when you get to know what your top 5 are, you also want to know what your bottom 5 are, because you have this secret sauce way of doing this business. And I believe that your strengths hold the keys to avoiding burnout and to staying in that apathy phase for too long. When you come back to understanding what makes you you, you can remind yourself, what if I did this a different way? What if I approached this thing that's feeling heavy in my business through what is actually my top 5 strengths? It's that Goldilocks principle. You want to find that tempo that's just right, because it's not about doing the things all the time, right? It's about how you do the things. It's doing them through your unique lens. And so I like to think of your top 5. Once you do your own assessment, you think of your top 5 as your strengths, and you think of those as your magnets in your business, and then you think of your bottom 5 as your kryptonite, right? These are the things, if you stay here for too long, you're gonna burn out, because the business that you're in, you got into for a reason. And if it's doTERRA, for example, you got into it because you know you're going to be able to create something that is just perfecto for you. But if you get stuck doing it through your bottom 5, you're gonna burn out. It won't be the business that burns you out. It's not the business's fault. It's because of the way that you're doing it. So I have one more quickie secret I want to share that goes with this. And that is, this whole thing is up to you. The whole thing. It's up to you. It's up to you what you want to make of it, right? And your goal here is to be unlike anybody else, to be as great as possible at being who you really are. And so I encourage you, no matter what stage you find yourself in your business right now, as soon as possible, get to know who you really are and what you really bring to this opportunity in front of you and what you bring to us, bring to the world, because like that is what we want. That is amazing. When you see somebody who are just, they're doing it in their way, they're not looking around, they put the blinders on and they really show up and serve people and bring their gifts to the world. And they don't spend time stewing, in those bottom 5, but they keep in the top and they pivot when they need to. That is what brings that sense of entrepreneurial spirit to our world. That's where innovation takes place. That's where growth takes place. And that's where you ultimately build the life that you can imagine right now in your heart. If you want to dive a little deeper on this topic, I'm all about it. And I've recorded a session that I actually shared last year at doTERRA's leadership conference. And I've uploaded it for you at wholefit.com/leadership if you want to go a little deeper with me.